Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. Thank you so much for joining me. First up, it's Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry. And today we're learning about the hormone oxytocin. How does it affect your body? Well, you'll have to wait and see. Then we're visiting the big RV show happening in Florida. Mike Caudill is going to take us on a tour and show us the latest trends. And a little bit later, Visit Fort Wayne is in studio to share with us the hottest events happening in February around Fort Wayne. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry and Wellness. Welcome back to Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry and Wellness. Today we're going to be talking about oxytocin, and most people may think of this as a love hormone, but it actually turns out that it plays a much bigger role in mental health. So Sean Goddard is here to share all about it. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Okay, so what is oxytocin? This is my first time ever hearing this term.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Oxytocin, a lot of people think of it as a love hormone, but it's actually involved in a lot more than that. It's involved not only in, it's known as a contractile hormone. It's responsible, for example, helping give birth and all those types of things, but it's also responsible for helping with mood regulation, controlling fear, memory, motivation, orgasm. It's involved in a lot.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just a neurological thing. It actually plays a part in the emotions?
Yeah, it absolutely, it's a, they call it a love hormone for a reason because, for example, when you go and you hold your baby for the first time and you do the first feeding, that feeding is just full of oxytocin and helps with the binding and the connection between baby and the mom and also baby and the dad. So it's involved in our feelings, our emotions, from birth and beyond.
From birth, okay, so it's love on all levels.
That's right.
And so how does this connect if someone is experiencing anxiety or trauma, perhaps?
Yeah, oxytocin can actually play a significant role, we're finding in studies, in helping reduce anxiety and fear responses. We live in a society today now where we're dealing with PTSD, and not only just normal PTSD, but what we call chronic severe PTSD, and sometimes it can be a question of, is somebody really depressed, or are they dealing with chronic long-term post-traumatic stress disorder from their upbringing and from life? And we're seeing through studies that oxytocin can help calm the brain, reduce the fear drive, the anxiety drive, and allow emotional connection. A lot of people are really struggling, in addition, because of social media and electronics and all that, in dealing with connection. I have a client right now that really struggles to emotionally bond and connect with his wife, and we're using oxytocin to help with that, because he grew up with no love and no bonding and no connection, and so he doesn't have that emotional support or connection or that basic understanding of how to do that. So it's amazing how it can help.
So when you say you're using oxytocin, is it a hormone that all of us possess? And then is there a way that you can kind of tap into it a little bit further?
Yeah, so oxytocin we naturally produce, and it's amazing. We actually produce it in so many different areas in our body. We find that it's not only in our brain, it's in our gut, it's everywhere. And so, but the problem is we don't always produce it the way we're supposed to, where we're supposed to produce it, or release it, or we underproduce it. And so with some of the protocols that we're doing with our change to Viking Psychiatry and Wellness, right, we're taking that whole-centered approach. And so we have protocols that we're able to do where you can self-administer bioidentical oxytocin, either daily, multiple times a day. It depends on what we're treating. It could be intranasally, it could be sublingual, it could even be like vaginal suppositories. It just all depends on what we're attempting to treat or what we're approaching. But we offer ways to help build that oxytocin release, and it's amazing. We already have a few clients that are being treated, and it's amazing how quickly we can see responses in individuals.
That's so cool. It sounds like you're putting love in the air, That's such an interesting hormone that we possess. I mean, I feel that the more we tap into it, then that's incredible. So how do you really regulate it?
Well, the body is responsible for regulating and releasing oxytocin, and the problem is our regulation is off across the board in all hormones nowadays. I could get into the idea that there's a reason that young women and young men are walking around with low levels of testosterone or estrogen or progesterone because of the diets and microplastics and all these different reasons that we have low hormone levels in the life that we live and the chronic disconnection as we grow up. But our goal is to bridge that gap and allow people to really enjoy life. Psychiatry is not just about prescribing a pill, and the problem is that's been the approach for too long. Psychiatry should be about total wellness, and that's what we're looking to do here.
Yeah, fully. And you talked before about people who may experience chronic stress and trauma, and sometimes they kind of go into a survivor mode, right, or a survival mode, but there's a way that the brain connects, and you're saying that this oxytocin is a way to kind of treat that or to help in that area to kind of de-stress a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, really, if you think about it in a kind of the balloon being full type idea, right, that when we have chronic PTSD or lack of emotional connection, our balloons that are full are the ones that are our anxiety balloon, our fear balloon, and so it's hard for us to fill up the balloon that's love and connection or even intimacy, right? And so what we're able to do is by treating through these protocols with oxytocin, we're able to start filling up those other balloons and releasing the pressure out of the other ones, right? Okay. So that they don't pop.
Yeah.
And we're allowing people to begin to reconnect not only with themselves, but sometimes be able to truly begin to bond with the people in their life or their partner, or be able to enjoy intimacy for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. Well, that's so cool how you're expanding to the wellness side and really tapping into this area. So what would you say is the biggest takeaway as people are leaving this conversation thinking about oxytocin? Yeah,
remember that oxytocin and mental health isn't just about prescribing a pill. It's not about just the brain. It's about total body. And our brain responds. Our body remembers and reacts off of its memory. Yeah. And so our goal is to begin to change that, right? Look at that total approach, change the way that the body responds, and then change the way that our mind responds.
Love it. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you.
Very
Thanks
interesting.
For having me.
And if you would like more information about Viking Psychiatry and Wellness, we'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment is sponsored by Viking Psychiatry and Wellness.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
Enjoy fun in the sun on Living Local 15. Become a tourist in your own city. Visit your favorite spots and have some fun with me. From kayaking to rappelling off a building, I show you ways to have an adventure in Northeast Indiana every weekday morning at 9 on WANE 15. So join me, Jessica Williams, for Living Local 15.
Watch Living Local 15 with Jessica Williams weekdays at 9 on WANE 15 and catch past episodes on wayne.com.
Traveling and touring the country via an RV is gaining popularity. Over 72 million Americans plan to take a trip in an RV this year alone. So let's pop down to Florida to check out their RV Supershow in Tampa with Mike Caudill. He's going to show us some new models, what's trending, and some new technology in RVs. Hey there, Mike.
Hey, how are ya?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic.
Yes, it looks like there's a lot of fun stuff happening behind you. Let us know what's taking place at this grand show.
Well, you know what? This is the kickoff to the RV show season here in Tampa. The Florida RV Supershow is one of the largest in the country, and over the course of the next few months, you're going to see RV shows hitting every city in the country. Now, what's really unique about this show, there are more than 1,300 RVs here on the premises. There are more than 680,000 jobs in the RV industry, and from an economic impact standpoint, it generates about $140 billion. And it's all about American made. That's what's unique about the RV industry. Now, here specifically at the show, what are consumers looking at? Here are some great examples of what they're taking a look at here at the show. We're talking about travel trailers. They're affordable. You can tow them behind a small SUV or a small truck, and you're going to find pricing in that $20,000 range for some of these RVs. And then you can take a look at Class Bs. These are smaller drivable units, and even if you want to go off-road, those are also options as well. That's what's unique about the RV industry. Here's some great images of those that go off-road. They have bigger wheels, bigger tires, and then of course you've got Class A's, and those Class A's are amazing. They're long, they're big, they're luxurious, and you can take those out on the open highway. Now, one of the big themes this year is America 250. Speaking of America 50, I've got 4 F-35 pilots flying over me right now to kick off the show here. But it's about America 250, getting out on the open highway. I just talked yesterday with the folks at Go RVing and the RV Industry Association. Nearly 76 million Americans plan to get out in an RV this year, and they provided itineraries for Americans to basically get on their website and figure out where they want to go. So if you don't know what you want to do, they've got great itineraries on there for you. And I just figured before I go, I'd show you guys some of these other RVs. You can tell I'm in a sea of RVs here down in Tampa with everything happening. By the way, you guys have your Fort Wayne RV and camping show happening here in a week, January 29th it starts. So a lot of the RVs here, you're going to be able to see at that RV show.
Yes, that is really exciting. As I'm looking at all the new type of models, I find it interesting, a triangular RV. I'm like, what is that about?
I know. Well, that's what's beautiful is they have, RVs for everyone out there on the market. By the way, I wanted to show this to you fast. I also stumbled on this yesterday. They have something called a travel passport. So if you want to log where you go in your RV, they've got a great way for you to do it now. So something pretty cool as well. You can find those at local dealers.
Yes, and as we're looking at the different types of RVs, also the inside of them seem to have been upgraded in so many ways where it looks like you're in a mini home. So can you tell me about some of the newest trends and some of the appliances and things like that on the inside?
Yeah, RVs have become incredibly advanced when it comes to technology, obviously speakers and flat screen televisions, but they're also integrating other forms of modern technology. I've seen a few with Amazon Alexa on the inside. They're finding ways to expand that experience to where you can take a lot of the electronics that you normally have out there on the open road. I've seen some with bunk beds, I've seen some with special play areas, and even, think about COVID, so many people took to the RV to get away during COVID. Well, some of these RVs even have workstations and little offices in them as well. So it's all about innovation this year at the RV Super Show.
Yes, and people love to hop in an RV and travel. Like you said, America is celebrating 250 years. So many people will be out on the roads just traveling and just trying to look at our great nation. Do you know what is like the largest RV holding space? Like how many bunks, I guess, or how many sleeping spaces can the RVs really get up to?
I've seen some of the RVs that can accommodate up to about 8 people inside of them. Some of them are a little bit bigger. And then as far as pricing goes, you can find some RVs that are in that $20,000, some sub $20,000 category, but you can find them all the way up to $2-3 million. So there's a wide difference between some of the RVs.
Yeah, and it's great that people can just kind of walk into them, touch them, and you say it's taking place all over. And as you mentioned, in Fort Wayne, upcoming at the Memorial Coliseum, we will have the Fort Wayne RV and Camping Show taking place January 29th through February 1st. And what would you encourage, really a good reason to encourage people to come out? What is the difference between watching the RVs as you are presenting it compared to them actually being out and seeing it for themselves?
I've been RVing my whole life. It's about creating memories, right? You're getting out there, you're getting rid of some of the electronics, you're going on hikes, you're hanging out in the campground, you're starting a little bonfire and you're hanging out around the campfire, telling stories. That's what's unique about this. You're getting to meet new people when you're out in a campground, and all of those things are about making memories, and that's specifically what it is for me. My kids were raised going to campgrounds. I was raised going to campgrounds, and that's what it is about in 2026 as well, especially with America 250. If you love America, you got to see America, and one way to do that is in an RV.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking us inside of this show. You stay warm down there in Tampa, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And if you'd like more information about the upcoming RV and camping show that's taking place in Fort Wayne at the Memorial Coliseum, we'll have their website listed below so that you can see how to get tickets. And I'll see you after the break.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Do you want to know the best places to go to eat and drink around Northeast Indiana? Well, join me, Jessica Williams, for Living Local 15, weekdays at 9 a.m. as I take you inside of the best restaurants, new and old, explore their menu, and of course, mix up some cocktails. Where will I go next? Well, you'll have to watch and see, but I want to know, where do you recommend I go?
Keep up with Jessica Williams on Living Local 15, weekdays at 9.
All right, guys, it is already February. I cannot believe that. January went through so quick, but now it's time to explore all the ways that you can get outside, even though it is kind of chilly. And joining me today is Erin Okeson, who is the digital content manager for Visit Fort Wayne. Good morning, Erin.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Okay. So I don't know, there's something about January when the holidays just passed. People just kind of want to stay cozy in the house. But now February's here, the month of love.
Yes.
And so there's stuff happening in the fort.
Yes. February is a short, quick month, but there's lots to do. So it is the month of love, and Valentine's Day is coming up, and it'll be here before we know it.
Yeah.
So, a favorite every year for Valentine's Day is the Fort Wayne Ballet's performances of Love Notes.
Oh, yeah.
And this is kind of an intimate, beautiful performance, and it's a really great experience for a romantic night out or just a night out with friends. And you can also upgrade your experience for a stage side table for two to make it a little more romantic as well. So that's always fun. Or, you can go a little more casual, go ice skating at Headwaters Park, but there's lots to do for Valentine's Day here.
Yes, that's such a good idea. Yeah. Wow. And I know that some of the restaurants sometimes offers like a little duo special, so people have to keep their eyes open for that.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
but in addition to going to dinner, there's lots of shows that's going on. So what are some top ones?
Yes, so we have lots of great concerts coming to Fort Wayne in February. So you can, start the month with Black Violin, and they are a Grammy-nominated duo, and they kind of merge classical and hip-hop. And they've been to Fort Wayne before, and they were definitely a crowd favorite, so that's going to be a great show.
Oh.
If you're a country fan, you can also catch Eli Young Band and Priscilla Block, so they'll both be performing at the Clyde Theater later this month. Or you can kind of switch gears for something different and enjoy the music of the Lord of the Rings at the Embassy Theater. So I think that one's going to be a lot of fun too.
Now I'm not too familiar with the Lord of the Rings, but I didn't realize the music was like popping.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a great show. If music isn't your thing, if you're looking more for comedy, we have some great shows coming up as well. I will mention, always check the schedules at Fort Wayne Comedy Club and Summit City Comedy Club. They are always bringing in some really great acts. But we also have some heavy hitters coming this month too, with Jerry Seinfeld coming to the Embassy Theater. He's always a favorite here in Fort Wayne for sure. And then at the end of the month, Bert Kreischer will be at the Memorial Coliseum. So a couple different kinds of comedy, but a lot of great shows.
It's so funny because I'm pretty sure Jerry was sold out like the week after.
Yes.
It was announced, but you can sneak in a ticket or two. You got to check it out.
Yes.
That's always funny. Okay, so super fun stuff to do, but what about the whole family?
Yes, lots to do for the whole family. And, It's cold outside, so if you're staying inside, there are still ways to kind of get out the energy for the kids. So the Botanical Conservatory, they have a really fun showcase exhibit going on right now. It's called Fern's Fairy Light Express, and it kind of takes you to kind of a magical world with model trains, and it's all part of this enchanting story that is actually by local author and illustrator Talitha Shipman. So she has this really fun children's book that she's written and illustrated, and so all of the characters and the story, they come to life in this exhibit. So it's really fun and just lots of interactive experiences for the kids there for sure.
Okay, well that sounds good. Okay, anything we're missing?
Well, another fun one for the family is also going to be the Fort Wayne Ballet. We're going back to them, but they have their family series, and they're going to be doing The Wizard of Oz. So you can join Dorothy and Toto in the Land of Oz, and that one is really designed for families with kids or first-time ballet goers. So it's going to be really fun and very engaging.
That is good. Be able to bring in the kids young to see just performing arts. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Erin.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. See you next month.
Sounds good.
And if you would like more information about the events that we discussed today and so many more, you can head over to Visit Fort Wayne's website. We'll have that listed below, and I'll see you after the break.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Hi, I'm Jessica Williams, host of Living Local 15, covering food, fashion, and everything fun in Northeast Indiana. Watch weekday mornings at 9 as we explore the community and I introduce you to some of my new favorite places. Where will I go next? Well, you'll have to watch and see, but I want to know, where do you recommend I go?
Watch Living Local 15 with Jessica Williams, weekdays at 9 on Wayne 15, and catch past episodes on WANE.com. Go to the Living Local 15 page on WANE.com for recipes from the show, to watch a segment again, and to get information on products and services featured on Living Local 15. Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.